Do you ever get that thing where you want to update your wardrobe, but you don't want to be a victim of trends or a fashion victim? In today's video, we're going to cover that, how to incorporate trends or update your wardrobe each season without being a slave to the trends, without feeling like you have to have everything. I'm going to show you how to curate and choose the trends or the pieces to update your wardrobe so that you don't get stuck in the frump, but that you're also not a fashion victim. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Nina. I have the blog sharingajourney.com. Today is part 4 of our 7-day signature style challenge. Each day I'm covering an aspect of style to kind of give you a taste, a jumping off point, so that you can work on that or you can continue on with the challenge. Be sure to dive into the parts of this challenge that intrigue you or that you find interesting and you want to work harder on or dive in deeper. And then if you're ready to move on to the next segment, then let's move on to the next segment. There are going to be 7 total, and there may be a couple bonuses. I haven't yet decided. If you missed any of the 7, be sure and check out the playlist where you can watch them all in order. It doesn't matter if you watch them in order, but if you want to, if you're one of those kind of people that want to watch it in order, it will be in a playlist for you to watch. As we age, I think we become a lot more discerning about our style, but at the same time, we can easily get caught in a rut where we're wearing the same things. Maybe we bought a suit that made us feel wonderful in the 90s. Maybe we have pieces that, we've had with us for a long time, and we find that we are stuck in a given era or with certain clothes, and we recognize that we're getting a bit dated looking. Well, all that we have to do a lot of times, if we're classic wardrobe gals, is sprinkle a few newer items into the wardrobe, and it immediately revitalizes the wardrobe and makes it current again. One of the first things that I take note of each season as I look at the trends that are coming out is that I take a look at what colors are on trend. And I look in my wardrobe to see how much of those colors I already own, whether or not the trend colors are colors that I'm interested in adding to my wardrobe, or if it's going to be a pass. If the trend for the season, if the color trends for the season are things that I already own a little bit of, then I make sure that I sprinkle that color into my wardrobe rotation. If it's a color that I want to add to my wardrobe that builds out the color scheme that I already have going, then I'll go ahead and lean in and buy a few pieces of a color trend that I think are going to really enhance my wardrobe and be helpful or help be a building block for my wardrobe as it goes forward. As I've said in other videos when we've talked about color, I really focus on the colors that work for my skin tone and that work with my wardrobe. I've built my wardrobe around color to a large extent, and we'll be talking about building kind of capsules in a future video. But for today's kind of discussion about trend, color is one of the easiest and least expensive ways to bring your wardrobe current. So let's say that you notice that, as in this season, there's a burgundy color that is quite popular, and there's also sort of a khaki green. You may not be attracted to the khaki green, but you may like the burgundy color. So you may want to look in your wardrobe. Do you have any burgundy pieces? If not, what sprinklings can you put in? Could you just buy a beautiful burgundy cashmere sweater? Could you just purchase a hat or a handbag or a pair of shoes? just those little touches are really great for updating the wardrobe without diving all the way in. The next thing that I look for is patterns and the fabrics of the season, and particularly if there's a print or several prints that are popular. If I like them, if I think that they go well with my wardrobe, then I begin to look for pieces that would be in that scheme. For example, leopard goes in and out. It never really fully goes out, but this season we're seeing a lot of leopard again. And so I'll go through my wardrobe, I'll pull out the leopard pieces I have, I'll look and see what else would I like to add, if anything, and then how does this piece go with the other pieces in my wardrobe. So with the leopard skirt, obviously you can wear a leather biker type jacket, you could wear a black blazer, you could wear a black turtleneck, you could wear a cream colored or a golden turtleneck. There's so many different things that would go well with that. And if it sparks your imagination, then it's one of the trends to maybe lean into. And if it doesn't, then it's easy to pass. The next thing that I like to do when it comes to trends is I like to look at the silhouettes that they're proposing for the season. If it's a silhouette that I love, again, I lean in. There are times that blazers are popular, and there are times that they're less popular. There's times that baseball jackets and leather biker jackets or denim jackets are more popular. And if they're not, then you just put it to the back of your closet and save it for when it comes back. Now, mind you, some of the details may be not quite as in, or the cuts or whatever, but you can sometimes overcome that with other accessories or other pieces that are more current. So kind of adding in and setting aside pieces in your wardrobe as the seasons come and go, so that you're actually rotating and using the pieces you have, but also setting them aside when they're less popular. The next thing that I like to do is consider accessories. So instead of buying a head-to-toe trend, a lot of times I'll just lean in with accessories. If there's a particular pattern that I'm interested in, but I'm not sure that I really want to go all in on it, I will often just buy a scarf. Or I will add in maybe something that is similar, but not exactly the same as what they're showing. When you do that sort of thing, you are creating kind of a nod to the trend, but you're still creating your own individual style. Another thing that I always do is I always keep accessories. Unless they're broken or there's something severely wrong with them, I keep accessories. I keep belts, I keep handbags, I keep necklaces, earrings, etc. It's interesting to see how those pieces come and go and how they can be reincorporated into your wardrobe periodically as they come back and forth. There's not a lot of space that you need to, like have on hand to maintain small collections of interesting pieces of costume jewelry, scarves, shoes can take up some room, handbags can, and belts, that's another thing that I often do. I will often go in at the end of a season and purchase things that I'm interested in. Even though I know that they may not be in style, if I really love the piece and I can imagine myself wearing it into the future, I will go ahead and purchase the trend item. In fact, some time ago I purchased a blouse. It was a classic blouse, but it had a pleated sleeve. Now someone said to me, "Wow, that's a pretty trendy item. Aren't you nervous that you're not going to want to wear it in a couple of years?" But when I thought about it, I thought, you know what? This is going to be interesting enough that when I wear it a few years from now, no one's going to particularly remember that it was a trend because it wasn't really a big trend. And people are going to go, "Wow, where did you get that blouse? That's a cool detail." And they're not going to be able to get it because I bought it several years ago. I think curating a wardrobe over time and really being intentional about what we add and subtract from the wardrobe or a given look is really important. I think here in America, we are much more trend focused than other countries. And I think if you focus more on creating a look that is yours, leaning into things that you like and inspire you, and pulling away from things that you really aren't interested in or that don't go with your wardrobe or your color palette or your sense of style, you'll eventually begin to create a wardrobe that is uniquely yours, that suits you to a T. And that's what we're going for here. If you're interested in following trends, or at least just seeing what is coming on in terms of trends, usually at the beginning of each season, you can check Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, and some of those magazines. They're often not super helpful because you're not going to see the same things that you would see in a department store, but you are going to notice that there are certain color palettes, certain silhouettes. They're going to be very exaggerated, but if any of them inspire you, then you can begin to look for them, at a more modest price point. The other thing I do when it comes to trends is if I absolutely love something and I know that it's not going to be, something that I would want to wear next year, for example, I'll buy it at the lowest price point that I can. And I'll enjoy it for that season and not feel bad when I donate it to Goodwill. So I don't invest the big money in my wardrobe toward trends. I always focus my biggest dollars on classic pieces that I can wear year in and year out, and I spend the smallest amount of money on things that are trends. I hope that this video will help you to at least get thinking about trends and how they fit in your wardrobe and how they can elevate your wardrobe and bring it current, but also how to avoid looking like a fashion victim. And I will see you in the next video.